Hello, my name is Max, and as you can see, I am joined by this green dinosaur I've named Ronald. He is being held against his will with clear masking tape, and me and his non-will will be teaching you poker, Texas Hold'em, and blackjack. So, how do you play, or what are the rules of blackjack? They are very simple, and basically, you are trying to get to 21 without going over, and trying to beat the dealer. So basically, at the beginning of each round, you'll be dealt 2 cards, and then the dealer will be dealt 1 face down card, and then 1 face up card. You see his cards. You have a 5, you want another card, you now have 15. You want to get closest to 21 without going over. You go again, you now have 20. You don't want to go over. Low chance of actually getting 21, so you don't draw any more cards. You got a 20, pretty good. Before you play your first game of blackjack, you'll first have to know the actions you can play. First is a stand, which you don't draw any cards and you stand on your hand. You have 18, you don't draw anything, you stay on 18. A hit is where the dealer will deal you a card. You have a 16, dealer deals you a 2, you now have 18. Simple. There is a split. Splits only work if you have 2 of the same card. So example, a jack and a king, both worth 10. This is able to be split. You split the hand, and basically splitting is turning these 2 into 2 separate hands. And another thing, if you had money in play, this is a free game, but just say you had money, you would split the money between these 2 hands, making it a lot less likely for you to lose. So, and then dealer would deal you a card there, and a card here. 15. Simple enough. And the one other action you can play is, I will have to find the specific card for it, so give me a moment. And the other action is called insurance. So, what happens during insurance? Insurance only plays out when there's an ace on the board face up for the dealer. So, but you would have to have your own hand. Just say 8. So you had 8. If you play insurance, you have to show your cards. If you played insurance, it's basically an extra wager to make sure you would win that money, if this is blackjack. In which case, it is. So, you would lose your initial wager, and depending on what kind of casino you were at, it would double, and you would get your money back, then some. Pretty simple. As an example for the actions you've just learned, you can play a game. So, start that card. Stop cheating. So, first, the dealer will start by drawing himself a face-down card. Simple. And then he'll deal each person playing a face-up card around the board to make it a little random. And he'll draw he'll draw himself a face-up card, which is 10. Doesn't really matter until you see your cards. I'm sorry, you a card, 20. Aces are with 11 on the first turn. Don't know if I mentioned that. And he has a 19, 20. You wouldn't want to stand. One thing I forgot to mention, though, is, let's say he hits on this. That is not how it's supposed to play. He got blackjack. Whatever. He got over. He got over 21. This is what they call a bust. Bust is basically just a complete loss. You lose your hand, lose your money, you go broke, wham. Yeah, that's basically what it is. That's a bust. You lose your hand, money, that's it. And you have a 20, you stand. Unless you're an actual god, you would have gotten 3. I like checking my cards. Funny. So, you have a 20. I draw here, 19. The dealer rule is he has to draw until 16. So I have 19 here. Dealer's not allowed to draw anymore. You win. Sometimes your money would double, triple. Depends if you're playing high stakes or not. I'm not a casino worker, so I wouldn't know. Now moving on to Texas Hold'em. To start off, you may realize that, well, Ronald is gone and is now up there. Reason? He is being strapped up there by more tape because he decided to escape his confinement, and also we need a larger desk to explain Texas Hold'em. So the goal of Texas Hold'em is to make the best possible 5-card hand with the 2 cards you were given and the 5 community cards that are laid out. First, I'm going to explain card rankings, or what beats what, so to see what you generally want to look for. So, first, at the bottom of the list, usually always is beaten, it's high card. And high card generally means you have no pairs, it's not in a flush, nothing. It's just your highest card in your hand. Then after that, there is a pair. A pair is just 2 of the same value card. Jacks, 2 queens, really anything. And then there is 2 pair. Pretty self-explanatory, just 2 pairs in the same hand. Then we have 3 of a kind. Now, 3 of a kind is basically more self-explanatory, 3 of the same suit. Well, 3 of the same value card. You see 3 jacks. And then after that, we have a straight. And a straight is basically just same numbers, recurring, going up, down, basically ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Basically that. But you cannot have wraparounds. Queen, king, ace, 2, 3 does not work. Aces work as both a high value card and a low value card, 1 and 14, I think. Then we have a flush. A flush is, can't demonstrate it, but it's cards of all the same suit. So you would have 5 cards that are all hearts. It's called a suit. Then you have a full house. Now a full house is one of the more rare ones. It is 3 of a kind. My apologies. 3 of a kind added with a pair. So this would be the community. Then after that, you have 4 of a kind, which is incredibly rare, self-explanatory. 4 of the same value cards. I don't have the other jack, if I can quickly find it. 4 of the same value card. But then, after that, we have a straight flush. It is basically a straight and a flush. So, what I mean is all the same value cards going up. So, a hearts, 2 of hearts, 3 of hearts, 4 of hearts, 5 of hearts, or 5 of hearts, 7 hearts, 6 of hearts, 7 of hearts, 8 of hearts. You get what I mean. And again, it cannot have wraparounds with the aces. Then after that, the rarest and unbeatable hand is a royal flush. Now, a royal flush is a straight flush ace to the 10. What I mean by that, it goes 10, jack, queen, king, ace. Again, I said aces are worth both 1 and 14. Rarest hand, best hand. Those are basically all the rankings in chronological order. And just to explain again, the hands go high card, pair, 2 pair, 3 of a kind, straight, flush, then full house, 4 of a kind, straight flush, and then a royal flush. Those are all the official hand rankings. So, to show you a few more rules and how the game usually plays out, let's actually play a game. So, how it goes, I will be the big button, or the dealer. The big button, every game is passed around. So, But don't worry about it. We're only playing one game, and it's only really if you're playing with your friends. Casinos don't. They only have one dealer. So, sorry, remove those chips. So, the dealer will start by discarding a card, and dealing one card to each participant playing. Wow. And then he'll go around again, dealing one card to each participant playing. You have a King Jack. He has a Jack 9, Queen Jack, 6, 9. Now, what will happen is there's a small blind and a big blind. The big blind is forced to raise to the table minimum, which we'll say it's 2. We are going to count these chips as just 1. I have no money worth of them. So, table is now 2, and the small blind is forced to raise to half of that. So, the reason they do this is just to make sure the pot is actually filled with money and no one's just flopping first turn. What is the pot? The pot is basically just the money you win in the end. Basically, if someone raises, pot goes up, it's just how much money is everyone's betted. So, and then after that, since these two have already technically bet, it's now your turn. You have a few things you can do. Call, raise, and flop. So, calling is basically just going to the table minimum, or whatever the highest bet is. Raising should be simple. You raise the table minimum and put in extra chips. Flopping is basically giving up your hand and putting it into the dealer. It's as simple as that. You give up your hand, you don't do anything, you're not in play anymore. So, usually if you're in like the second round, you lose your chips as well. Without betting any more chips, it would just cease your game right then and there. So, let's just say you called. Called for 2. I called for 2. Now, after all those initial bets, the dealer will now discard, we're supposed to show you that, we'll discard another card, and add, we are not playing with jokers, we'll add 3 face-up community cards. In this case, they are 6 of hearts, 5 of spades, and 10 of hearts. Now, what you really want to do is check what kind of hands you can make. So currently, I can make a pair with my 6s. He can't do much right now, but he can start looking at a straight. What he can do is maybe look at a straight. He has a chance at a straight. You, well, you're going to have to get lucky for anything, but you still have a good hand. So, let's just say I flop. No more cards. These chips would go into the pot. Now, I flop, he checks, he raises, now 3. You don't have to check the value until it's gone around again if you've gone before him. So, you would check, and, you would call. But, now after that, I'm out, not playing anymore. You would discard another card and add a card to the community cards. This happens until there's 5 community cards. Now, same thing, look at what you can make and make bets. So, he checks, raises, you call. That's how it goes. I have to move those. Discard another card, and one last community card. Now, this is it. This is a final round of betting. Raise, check, call, whatever you want to do. Just say raises. I don't have any more chips to demonstrate, but you get it. So, these chips will now be added to a pot. Since no one's raising bet or doing anything, they're going to win this pot if you win. So, he tosses in his cards. He gets nothing. He should have flopped before this. He tosses in his cards. He gets nothing again. That was not very good, but you toss your cards in. You go for high card. You would win because you have a king, which is the highest value. You got a high card. This wasn't a very good hand to demonstrate, really, I think, but you get how to play now. So, and then, since you had high card, you beat them all by high card, you now get something called this. No, they didn't have anything. Yeah, nothing. There. You win, you get the chips. That's how it's played. Cat.